What's up, guys? This is Spruce from Ginger and Spruce. Today I have something interesting for you. I went to the card shop today, Pegasus Loft in Wichita Falls, Texas, and they had an open house, which was awesome. The event was great. Got to play with some interesting players. They had really great decks on their own outside of what we used for the open house. And I got this I guess intro deck, as you can call it. This is the red one. There's one of each color, but I haven't even seen this yet. So I'm going to open it up and we're going to talk about what's in it. And I'm sure this will be great for some new players and even returning players. You know, sometimes there's some pretty great stuff in here that you can definitely incorporate into whatever deck you already have. This is primarily used to teach new players how to play, but it has some cool stuff in it. Usually the last few iterations of it did, for sure. But alright, let's go ahead and get this started. Alright, so inside you have a deck of 30 cards, you know, and a quick rules reference guide. Kind of give you a little bit of pointers and tips and that kind of thing. Alright, so the first card you can see already is the Shivan Dragon. It's a pretty standard 6 cost 5/5 flying dragon. It has fire breathing, which is for 1 red you get +1/+0 until end of turn, which is a great way to make an already strong creature a little bit stronger, especially since you have to have that much mana to cast it anyway. You know. Alright, so moving on. Next we have Roman Goblin. It's a 3 cost for a 1/1, and it has tap, discard a card, draw a card. I mean, it's not bad. It has an ability that allows you to kind of cycle cards if you don't have cycle on any of your cards. So let's say you have something in your hand you really aren't going to use anytime soon. This kind of helps you get some versatility back into your deck. That's a Mountain Foundry Street Denizen. It's a 1 cost 1/1, and whenever another red creature enters the battlefield until you under your control, Foundry Street Denizen gets +1/+0 until end of turn. So it kind of works with other red creatures for sure. I mean, it's a goblin. They're typically weaker to start with, but this one has an ability. It allows it to get stronger whenever you play another red creature. Another Mountain Lightning Strike. It's a pretty standard staple in a red deck. 2 cost, deal 3 damage to target creature or player. Pretty useful. Can kill a lot of creatures, and it can sometimes be the finishing blow for a player. Mountain Goblin Rough Riders, 3 cost 3/2 vanilla. I mean, it's a Goblin Knight actually, which is really cool if you want to run either one of those as a tribal deck. Next up we have Borderland Marauder. It's a 2 cost 1/2, and when it attacks it gets +2/+0 until end of turn, which is pretty cool. You know, it gets stronger when it attacks. I wouldn't advise using this for a defender, but it's overall not that bad. Another Mountain Thundering Giant has haste. It's a 5 cost 4/3. You know, it gives it a little bit of speed, which is nice because you can attack with it on the first turn you play it. Another Mountain Seismic Strike. Seismic Strike is a 3 cost instant, deals damage to target creature equal to the number of mountains you control. This could be at minimum 3 or maximum whatever, as long as you have enough mountains, and this is amazing, especially against bigger creatures like you know, 4/4, 5/5, that kind of thing. Another Goblin Rough Rider. Mountain Paragon of Fierce Defiance. It's a 4 cost 2/2, but other red creatures you control get +1/+1, and you can tap one red and this, and another target red creature you control gains haste until end of turn. So that's pretty awesome. Makes other red creatures speed up. Another Mountain Staff of the Flame Magus. It's a 3-cost artifact. Whenever you cast a red spell or a mountain enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. This is pretty awesome, especially in a mono red deck. It's going to give you additional life that you will need, to survive. But it's pretty easy to use, considering that you don't have to tap it or activate its ability or anything like that. Another mountain, another Borderland Marauder. Lava Axe is a 5-cost sorcery. Deals 5 damage to target player. This is another one of those spells that you can just throw at a player and potentially win the game with. If that's all you need to do is 5 damage, this will help you do it. Another Lightning Strike. Another mountain. Furnace Whelp. It's a 4-cost 2/2 with flying, but it has fire breathing. So for the cost of 1 mountain, Furnace Whelp gets +1/+0 until end of turn. I didn't mention this earlier, but you can use fire breathing as many times as you want, as long as you have enough mountains to play it. So this thing could really be a 6/2 with flying until end of turn, every turn if you want to. Next up is Cone of Flame. It's a 5-cost sorcery. It deals 1 damage to a target creature or player, and 2 damage to another target creature or player, and 3 damage to a third target or player or creature. Now, all of these can be the same target, they can be different targets, or you can use a combination of targets, up to 3 different targets. But this can deal up to 6 damage to 1 creature or player, or you can spread out the damage if you really want to. It's pretty versatile. Another mountain. Another Seismic Strike, which is awesome, and another mountain. And that looks like everything that's in here. This is designed to teach you how to play the game. Overall, it's pretty fantastic, considering that it's only 30 cards. It's a nice way to start out your collection if you are new. But you can go into your local card shop, I'm assuming, just like the one that I have over here, Pegasus Loft again. And you could just ask how to play the game, and they are supposed to provide you with one of these and show you how to play the game. And that's, it's a pretty awesome way to go about it. They changed the style up a little bit since the last iteration of this. They used to provide you with a box with 2 30-card decks to play against each other with, and teach you how to use the different colors and that kind of thing. But this is still pretty awesome. And I would definitely suggest this for new players that have never played the game, and even returning players. If you want to just maybe add a couple cards to your collection that you haven't had previously, or learn new techniques, you can definitely do that. The open house that I went to was fantastic. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but we had some fun. I got to play with the core deck that I got at that as well. I ended up getting the black one, the Liliana deck. That Liliana is pretty fantastic. She's got a lot of versatility in this deck. It's ready to go, and you can just play with it. It's 60 cards as well. But that's all I really wanted to talk about today. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.